CBS Sports HQ presented by Subway. Still don't know if the Steelers are going to have their best player on the field for Sunday's opener in Buffalo. TJ Watt might sit out as he looks for a new contract. Big Ben speaking out about it and taking the side of his teammate.
I think TJ should get whatever the heck he wants. He's arguably the best football player in the game right now, not just on defense, just in general.
All right, let's get Charles Davis's take on this. He's going to be on the call for Steelers-Bills Sunday on CBS. Charles, what do you think of Big Ben kind of trying to force the front office's hand here and get his top player back out there on defense?
Chris, I think that all of us want to have a Big Ben in our lives, don't we? Someone advocating for us, someone supporting us, someone recognizing our value and our worth. And then being able, with their ability to have a platform, with the years that Big Ben has put out there and the stellar plays put out there, and what he means to that organization and team, if he's speaking, that means something. That carries weight. That's gravity. And that helps with the front office. It helps with the Rooney family. Helps with Kevin Colbert, the GM. It helps with the city of Pittsburgh. When your guy, the leader of your franchise, your beloved Steelers, when that guy is saying, hey, we need this guy and he deserves what he's asking for, that's a big deal. Doesn't mean he's going to get it. But boy, I sure wish all of us want a Big Ben in our lives, someone who's speaking out on our behalf. And I think for TJ Watt, that was big. And here's hoping, since I'm calling the game with Ian Eagle and Evan Washburn, that this does happen and we do see number 90 on the field on Sunday.
And Big Ben also said that, look, I mean, I took less money so that you guys could go out and give these other guys some more money. We'll see if it happens. Steelers, Bills, Sunday, 1 Eastern. For the most part, Charles, we deal day in and day out with treetop headlines. TJ Watt is one of those treetop headlines. But I want you to dig a little bit deeper on this one. What's a really under-the-radar storyline heading into the season?
Well, Chris, the Cleveland Browns are no longer one of those under-the-radar stories. They've actually been a story for about the last 3 years. And one of those years, they really laid an egg when they were that trendy pick to go to the Super Bowl. But this one, to me, is under the radar because as great as their roster is, they lost their starting 2 defensive tackles from last year, Sheldon Richardson and Larry Ogunjobi. So Malik Jackson is there now. Andrew Billings, coming off of opting out last year, is there now. They drafted Tommy Tongiai out of Ohio State. They've got Jordan Elliott, who they drafted last year. But the big one for me is Malik McDowell. Remember the high draft pick for Seattle a few years ago? Had the ATV accident, never played for Seattle, was thought to never play football again. He made the roster. He's out there. He could be part of that defensive tackle rotation that I think is important in the AFC North. Cincinnati wants to protect Joe Burrow. They need to get Joe Mixon going running the football. If you are in Baltimore, you know they're going to run the football. Doesn't matter how many running back injuries there are. Someone's going to come hurtling at you. They're committed to it. And Pittsburgh, the last 2 years, hasn't run it well at all. They drafted Najee Harris. They're going to start 2 rookies in the offensive line. They want to get back committed to running the football. In the North, you need those big defensive tackles. But Malik McDowell, not just as a player, but as a story, to be able to come back after we thought he would never play again, that's big-time stuff for me.
And great stuff. Browns at Chiefs, CBS Sunday. How about a team that you're really intrigued by, one that you're going to be really looking for on Sunday? You say it's the LA Chargers. They're at Washington, 1 Eastern on CBS. Why are you looking so closely at the Chargers in Week 1?
Because, Chris, every year we talk about the Chargers as being a contender, and a couple of seasons ago they actually were. I think they won 11 games that year under Anthony Lynn, and then everything cratered last year. So Brandon Staley's now in as the new head coach. Joe Lombardi is the offensive coordinator. Ronaldo Hill's the defensive coordinator. Brand new staff. But they have Justin Herbert, who was spectacular as a rookie quarterback. What a great building block. Keenan Allen is there. Mike Williams is there. They've got Jared Cook now at tight end, Austin Eckler at running back. But the defense is going to be the key for them. Getting back, Joey Bosa at defensive end, Derwin James at safety. Kenneth Murray they drafted last year. This team is oozing with talent, and they added Rashawn Slater at left tackle to protect Justin Herbert. But they're going against maybe the best defensive line in football this week in Washington. I can't wait to see how that shakes out. I think they'll be contenders in the AFC West for a playoff spot. Kansas City's still the team to beat, but I think they'll contend for a playoff spot. But what a great opener for them, and there'll be a lot of eyes on that one. And I tell you, I've told you before, Chris, I'm totally sold on Justin Herbert.
Brandon Staley, one of 7 new head coaches in the National Football League, but you picked out another rookie head coach who you think is going to have success in Week 1, and that would be Urban Meyer. Is that because they're playing one of the worst teams in the NFL, the Texans?
Well, it doesn't hurt with how the Texans are going. And, we've seen, I'm not going to call it a fire sale at all, but, they're not absolutely committed to a lot of players on their roster. Bradley Roby has value. He's gone to the Saints now. That just happened, in the last 24 hours. So we're seeing all these things happen. David Culley, I love him. His first time as a head coach in Houston, but he's not getting a prime roster or a prime spot at this moment with the way Houston is going. Urban Meyer with Jacksonville, there's talent on this team, and they drafted even more. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence at quarterback, that's a big deal. But James Robinson's back for his second year as a rookie undrafted free agent running back. Went for over 1,000 yards last year. He's the clear number 1 guy there now. He's got people to throw the ball to. They got Marvin Jones, coming in from Detroit. They can throw it out there to DJ Chark. Laviska Shenault is an all-purpose wide receiver / running back type. I like what they're doing. The defense, of course, has to play a lot better. But think of it this way, Chris. Every stop in Urban Meyer's career, Bowling Green, Utah, Florida, Ohio State, he took over programs that were down. And his first year, spectacular improvement. We'll see what that means. But I like them to come out of the gate strong in this one, and they've got the ideal opponent in Houston.
Our eye on first-year coaches and first-year quarterbacks like Trevor Lawrence and Mac Jones. But you're picking out a second-year quarterback who you expect to make a big step forward this season, and that would be Tua Tagovailoa, who you saw firsthand several times last season. Why do you think he's about to make a big jump?
Well, Chris, I could easily go Justin Herbert. I could go Joe Burrow coming off of injury. But I thought both of them made big leaps last year. Tua, he's anointed with a 6-3 record as a starter, but I don't get involved in that as much because they had to go to the bullpen a lot. I thought last year he was rehabbing, trying to get ready to play football coming off of a bad injury. This year he's preparing to play football. Noticeably bigger, stronger, thicker, and I think that his play is going to continue to pick up because guess what? There's no Ryan Fitzpatrick there to go to the bullpen. Everything is on him. I think he's welcoming the challenge. He's heard all the Deshaun Watson talk. That's not going to happen, in my humble opinion. It's his team, his time. I think he'll be much better this year, ready to make a leap with a Dolphins team that continues to get better. Look, they added Liam Eichenberg at tackle out of Notre Dame to an already improving young offensive line.
Charles, we're going to send you deep here. Charles Davis's deep dive on Tua Tagovailoa. You're going to take a look at a couple of plays from a matchup that he had against the New England Patriots last season. That's who he's going to face in Week 1. And tell us what you think can change.
All right, well, you look at this first play. This against New England in the first half. They're inside the 5-yard line. If you just hold it right there, you see the formation 2-by-2. Now, as the ball is snapped, as we run it forward, watch Tua in the pocket and watch the pass rush coming at it. So as it goes forward, stop it right there. Now, he's got a chance to see a lane off to his right and take off and go, or even up the middle as this play continues. But instead of taking the lane and running the football, he makes an awkward, off-balance throw to the outside that J.C. Jackson, who's a terrific corner, makes a great play on, picks it off, and it kills the drive. No points. Now, second half of this ball game, similar situation after this type of a play. How does he respond? Does he have a little AI and pick up on it? You see the formation, 3-by-1. Now watch the pass rush as it comes at him. In this case, you remember the first half, he still tried to make a throw. Ball snapped, Tua sees it, stop it there. Now he starts to go. Instead of now deciding to throw the ball out to the edges, guess what? There's the lane. I become a runner. Watch it take off and go now. Now he's decisive. Now he's committed to it. In one half, he absorbed what he did in the first half, turned it into something way better in the second half. To me, the first half rookie year, This run here in the second half, that's what I'm expecting more of in the second year, running, throwing, leading his ball club. I think Tua Tagovailoa has a great chance to make a big-time leap here in year 2, and he's going to need to, because that division, chasing down Josh Allen and the Bills, Mac Jones with the Patriots and an improved team there, and Zach Wilson with the Jets, they won't be an easy out for anyone this year.
Yeah, and it could be a big swing game to start the season because both Miami and New England kind of go into the season. Sportsline numbers say they're both around 50-50 to make the postseason. Charles Davis with us here on CBS Sports HQ is going to be with us several times a week throughout the NFL season. Those Dolphins visit the Patriots to begin the season, 4:25 Eastern. That is on CBS. The Patriots -3. All these games are on CBS on your screen. These are just some of the notable games. Charles is going to be in Buffalo Orchard Park as the Bills host the Steelers. Fingers crossed that TJ Watt will play in that game for Pittsburgh and they get something done. And Browns Chiefs, also a great matchup, a rematch of last year's AFC divisional round game, barely won by Kansas City.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.